Hello and welcome to the Comic Conspiracy, episode 627 for the week of Sunday, December 15th, 2024. This will be our final podcast of 2024, so enjoy it. My name is Ryan Higgins, who's here with me this week.
Brock Sager.
Kevin.
Lane.
And that's it. Toby might jump in later. He's not replied. That's okay. He may be seeing Kraven as we speak, so he'll maybe we'll get his hot takes, or he's falling asleep during Kraven as we speak. We'll get his hot takes when he comes back. Yeah. So this will be our final episode of the year. I'm gonna be on vacation for a few weeks and be out of town. We'll be back mid-January, so don't if you don't see a new episode go up for a little while, don't worry. We'll be back. And what a way to end it. What a way to end it. You guys asked for movie review episodes. Beware what you ask for. We're going to talk about Kraven today. We actually got some other stuff we're going to talk about as well, but I figure we're
getting it out of the way first, so people will stay for the good stuff. Apparently,
yeah. I assume no one cares about spoilers because I guess there's a couple things to spoil, but
if they do care about spoilers, just fast forward 3 hours into the podcast and we'll be done with Kraven then.
I don't think on my best day I could crack an hour talking about Kraven, let alone 3 hours.
Oh, if Toby was here, he'd take that challenge.
Well, I just assumed the 3 hour talk was about the time, like the day leading up to you watching Kraven, and then like 2 minutes on Kraven.
Yeah. Now, obviously, this is Sony's last not Spider-Man movie. There was a report that came out last week, as of this recording, that although not official, Sony's basically not going to pursue any more of these Spider-Man-less Spider-Man movies. So no Big Wheel, no Rocket Racer, no who else was in that? What else were people suggesting? There's supposed to be like a Silver Sable movie, no Black Cat, which is probably the only one they should have made.
Well,
yeah,
no without Spider-Man.
Well, yeah. I can't imagine Sony's going to release a movie that isn't called Spider-Man something.
So we can still get that Spider-Man and the wheel.
Yep. Spider-Man and El Muerte. There you go. Any day now. Yeah, me and Kevin went to see Kraven. We kept to our bet. We kept to our promise to each other, and. Yeah, we thought we were going into a completely empty theater, but a few other people did buy tickets.
Yeah, so let me just say, before we even get into the details, my dream for this outing was it's myself and Ryan alone in a theater watching a completely god-awful, horrible film with nobody but ourselves to blame. That was the dream. That's the dream scenario. Because obviously, you'd say, well, wouldn't you want it to be good? Okay, that ship has sailed. I'm saying, with what we have to work with, that was the dream. And then there's 20 other people in there?
No, I don't even know.
No, because there were some down in the front.
If there was 10, I'd be surprised. Okay. I don't think there was 20.
Well, did you go opening night or when?
No, we went at 2:00 in the afternoon. And it's what's wrong with you people? I know why we're here. What about the rest of you?
Yeah. We went on Thursday, which is opening day. I don't know that it.
It was the first show. It was the first show.
Yeah. It was the first show that I saw. Yeah, and so it was yep, this is perfect. Get this out of the way. Just
move on with your life. Get it out of the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, were you still the last seat in the?
Oh, I'm always back row in movie theaters, man.
Even with an empty theater.
When I saw Morbius, I was center seat, back row. I had the whole theater to myself. It was wonderful. You never sit with your back to the door, man. You always sit with your back to a wall. That's how you get by in life. No one behind you. Don't let someone sneak up on you.
Words of wisdom from Higgins.
Yeah. Well, based on the box office of $11 million opening weekend, which has to be it is a Sony low even less than Madam Web, which managed somehow to squeak out $15.3 million. 11 million is that's like indie film that opens in 20 theater numbers. Like, so this is going to be one of the worst performing movies of the year, just from a tickets first movie theaters, and it was in 3,200 theaters. So it's terrible. And again, we're going to talk full spoilers because nobody gives two shits. 50% on Rotten Tomatoes, if you care about that.
50 or 15?
15% on Rotten Tomatoes. C grade on CinemaScore, everyone's favorite. CinemaScore. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's a good movie, because it's not. But a little bit like Morbius, it's fine. It's not good. I wouldn't recommend it, but it's just kind of like a generic. I said it's like a dumb bad 90s action movie. They just somehow spent like $150 million on it and shoehorned in some random superhero stuff that was pretty unnecessary, and it feels like this was a script that was sitting around some revenge movie script, and they're like, wait a minute, we've got these Spider-Man characters we can shove into here. Let's just do that instead. Because it was fine. Like, a C. Yeah, sure. The movie was a C. Yeah, I'll say that. Yeah, I've definitely seen worse. It wasn't boring. It just sort of was there, and I don't know. Kraven's not going to be a character you are going to make like sequels to. You're not going to make like 12 movies, the Kraven movies, franchise. Like, I just don't know where they were going with this movie. Morbius in the same sense of why, like, the Spider-Man stuff with Disney makes sense. It's a big character, and they bring in some good villains, and there's complaints. I have some complaints about the Spider-Man movies, but overall they're really enjoyable. How they fuck these ones up is beyond me. Kevin, I forgot. I knew you had some thoughts.
I mean, sure. It's kind of like how I would sum it up is after the movie was over, Ryan and I walk out to the parking lot, and it's just kind of like, yeah, all right, well, see you later. There was really nothing to even.
Yeah. I mean,
if it's. Go ahead.
Everyone, like, a really bad movie can be a ton of fun. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. This was not that. This was generic action.
This was like a perfect strike down the middle field goal in the instance where you don't want a perfect strike down the middle field goal. It's like you want it to hit the post that is horrible or really good, and this like splits the difference perfectly in a bad way.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, it's like if you're just going to do like a shitty modern day version of the Beastmaster, it would be perfect on TNT on like a Saturday afternoon in like 1996.
Yeah. That's what I said. It's like a good bad 90s action movie, which can be fun. Those can be a ton of fun, but not as part of your biggest franchise of all time, mega multi tens of billions of dollar box office franchise, decades spanning franchise. It's just like, who looks at these movies and goes, yeah, this is it. We've got the next thing that's going to bring in people that like Spider-Man. They're coming to this.
Well, with the caveat that I've only seen the first Venom, I have not seen Morbius, I've not seen Madam Web, so got a limited sample size here.
I've only seen Morbius of those. I haven't seen Venom 2 or 3 or Madam Web either.
My problem with watching this was it's not bad. It was, like you said, it's not boring. I was actually entertained at parts, at least interested. I don't know if entertained might be too strong, but like engaged. I think the problem with it is it's not the Kraven from the comics, and that's fine. Like, who's going to die on that hill? But who gives a shit without Spider-Man? Like, why do you want to watch this character with these animal powers fighting like gangsters? Like, he's not a superhero. So it would be cool to see that Kraven take on Spider-Man in a better movie. I mean, like, just pull the Kraven out, put him in a better movie versus Spider-Man. That's cool. But this is kind of like, why?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah. Well, that's the, Venom is a popular enough character that it makes sense. He can hold his own. They've made Venom a kind of good guy-ish over the last 30 years. So, I don't think Kraven and Morbius are so different really from Venom. I don't think Venom was necessarily a better movie. It's also a really bad movie, but it's kind of just like dumb enough that it worked. It's like, yeah, this is dumb and fun, and people like Venom. People don't know who the fuck Kraven the Hunter is. People don't know who, random people know who Venom is from before these movies. Like, he's a popular character, toys, animated series. He's been in other stuff. So, Kraven and Morbius, you're already pretty, could DC make a Lex Luthor movie? They've made the Joker movie, obviously. Yeah, sure. Make a Harley Quinn movie, sure. You're gonna make we'll talk about someone who's getting a movie later. You're gonna make an Atomic Skull movie. I mean, you can, but why?
Right.
What's the where are you going? So if all you're doing is, we're gonna make Morbius kind of a superhero, we're gonna make you introduce 4 Spider Women and apparently can't do anything with them. We're gonna introduce Kraven the Hunter as an anti-hero. Well, I guess, but there's just no recognition, no name recognition.
Was he doing it for the trophies?
So, so the plot, right? The plot, that's why I said it just feels like kind of like some cheesy action 80s, 90s movie that they just slap some superhero stuff on. Kraven and his brother, their dad was Kraven, really, right? I mean, he's the big game hunter, right? So they're the sons of the big game hunter, and they like kind of rebel against him, and he gets. I mean, if you saw the trailer, right? Is that Callisto? Is that like or Calypso? Was that like Calypso? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. You would never know either way.
There is a character in the movie called Calypso. I don't know if it's supposed to be Calypso, like the Marvel character Calypso. It's not really. It doesn't really tell you, so it's very strange.
Is this the one from like the underground people?
No.
Who am I thinking of?
It's
Morlock, right?
Morlock.
No, she's with she's like a daredevil. She's like a voodoo priestess.
There's multiple Calypsos. Yeah,
she's Spider-Man, and did she fight Daredevil at one point too? Like I think so. Yeah, I think she was in some Daredevil arc. Yeah. I mean, it's. I guess it's supposed to be Calypso, but
she has tarot cards. She has tarot cards, so just say
The grandmother has the tarot cards.
Well,
right? Yeah.
So everybody in this movie is just offspring of these characters.
Maybe, yeah. So Rhino's in it, right? And he's a dude that gets experimented on, and his body turns all hard, and he was what an odd.
No Paul Giamatti.
What an odd, like he's like this goofy. Is he Indian? I don't know what nationality he was.
Oh, the actor?
I don't know.
His accent was not hard to understand, but hard to pin down.
He it was unclear of what his nationality was supposed to be, but because and he just has like this backpack. He's basically Bane, right? Like it's Bane where he went. So Bane turns the Venom on. He turns this thing off and he becomes Rhino. It's like, okay.
Yeah, so you've had now 2 live action rhinos, and neither of them are the comic book Rhino. That's got to be a record.
And they both killed the franchise too, right? They killed the line of Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 2.
So don't put Rhino in a movie, and you should be good.
I guess. But so they rebel against the Kraven and his brother rebel against father, and he gets attacked by a lion. He won't kill the lion, or he won't kill the lion. And it bites him, and they shoot it, and the blood from the lion falls into into Kraven's into his wound. And while he's like trying, he's gonna get killed by the lion. Calypso, who randomly gets introduced, her parents were on like a.
Just keep going.
Her parents were on an
expedition,
on an African safari, but her grandmother lived where the African safari was, and she was like a tarot reader, something like that. Not very clear because she just sort of shows up, and she's like, "Oh, my grandmother's magical. My grandmother's magical juice here. It'll heal you." So because her grandmother's like, "Take this. It's our family's legacy or whatever." And so the lion's blood mixed with the magical grandma juice.
How did this get out of a pinch meeting?
It's so dumb. So he gets like weird like hawk vision. He gets all these like non-lion powers too.
So he turns into Animal Man, basically.
Kinda like he is a little.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
Vixen.
He doesn't. He doesn't take the. He doesn't. It's not like Animal Man where he can do one power. He is.
Oh, okay.
It's like he can communicate with them like the Beastmaster,
So
but then he also has
Aquaman, but beasts. Got it.
But he has random powers that aren't connected to the animal that he's near.
Yeah. He can like see really far and hear, and then he kind of jumps around, and he has like kind of healing and strength and blah blah blah. So
everything that was in the opening sequence of the Hulk.
Yeah, and he's like, "Well, I hate my dad. I'm gonna go kill everyone that's like my dad. I'm gonna go kill all the evil, billionaires in the world." And topical and Toe. Welcome, Toby. Welcome. We're 17 minutes into Kraven talk. Yeah, no spoilers.
So basically, it's a guy with animal powers.
I take it back. All spoilers.
It's a guy with animal powers taking on the Russian underworld. There.
So it's like, yeah, everyone's connected back to Rhino, and somehow Rhino is like the head of, he's the one. All the bad guys he starts to chase all end up being somehow related to Rhino, and
so Rhino's Russian.
Okay, Ryan. The actor is. I knew I had seen him in something. It's Alessandro Nivola is the actor. He's American, so he's doing an accent.
Okay, yeah, it's an odd.
But he's been in a ton of movies over the years. I knew I had seen him in stuff, but yeah. So that's a performance accent, not his real one.
Yeah, I didn't know what his. Yeah, I didn't know where that voice was coming from. It's.
So he is Bane.
He's weird. Yeah.
Because Tom Hardy changed his voice for.
If it was the Bane voice, it'd be amazing.
Oh my god! Can you imagine?
Redub the whole movie with Rhino as Bane. That'd be great. Yeah, and then right, that stuff happens. If you know who Kraven the Hunter's brother is, I mean, I guess I can leave some mild spoilers off the table in case you care.
I don't think anybody cares at this point. Like,
yeah, I mean, his brother's Chameleon. All right, so that kind of plays up at the end, but you find out that Rhino and Chameleon and all these other people were all going to who is it? Is Jackal, right? I did I knew they said the guy's name, but I was like, who is that? Like I couldn't remember who that was. It's
Jackal.
But they never.
He's not in it.
They just kind of like
they just refer to like there's this professor in New York who does these experiments.
Yeah, that's experimenting.
And then there's a random other supervillain who I still have no idea who the hell this is.
Oh, yeah. And they randomly employ another villain. Was it the Foreigner, right?
Yeah.
It's like
who can like freeze time, basically, like hypnotizes people.
there's no explanation of anything of why anything. There's no acknowledgement of them just being in the Marvel universe. It's just sort of,
So you're telling me that we live in a world.
I made a Highlander joke earlier, right? For the Highlander, it's like they at least like give you like, yeah, there's immortals, like it's a thing. Okay, cool. Now this doesn't even like. There's never like, oh, there are people with powers in this world. Is it the Spider-Man world? It just never says. It's just like
it has the Daily Bugle. The Daily Bugle.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, but just randomly people have powers, and okay, there's never any. The audience has never given any suggestion that
there's no simple back of like Peter Parker's head with the glasses taking a photo shot.
No, nothing like that. No. So like. Again, I've seen worse. I've definitely seen worse. It's fine, but
And the director has made good movies in the past. The directing is not the problem here.
Yeah,
it's not like it's incompetently made.
Yeah.
It's that the skeleton of it is incompetently made, not the filmmaking itself.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what I said about Morbius, right? Like, if Morbius came out in like 2003 or whatever, it probably would have been a pretty successful movie because we were so early on, right? I could see, if this came out in the 1993, you've got The Mask and like what the hell else? I love The Mask. You've got Judge Dredd and Tank Girl. It fits in with like that sort of group of movies, which can be fun, right? Those can be fun. I don't think Morbius and this are like complete. I did actually see some reviews of people like, oh, it's boring as hell. It's a complete slog. Oh, you just want to like, kill yourself after you see it. No, it's not that bad. No, it's just like, what's the point? That's the bigger problem. When it comes to a lot of the more recent stuff Marvel has done, I know what the point is. The point is to continue the Marvel universe, and it sucks, right? Like, I'd probably rather watch this than. Well, I think you said Eternals, right, Kevin? I'd probably rather watch this again than Shang-Chi or Moon Knight.
Well, Moon Knight's a show. Like, that's not a fair fight because Moon Knight has like Moon Knight has like 8 hours of content. So yeah, I'd choose Kraven also.
Those kind of offended me because I was just like, God, you guys, what are we doing here? This was just like, okay, it's fine, but like, it's just totally forgettable. So
we live in a world where Kraven was released in theaters and Batgirl was tax credited.
Yeah.
Or write-off.
Unless you're some tiny budget horror movie that can make its money back super quick, or some absolute blockbuster, man, future movies are real tough. Did I tell? I don't think I told it. Did I tell our like attempt at buying movie ticket story last time?
No. It was the skip week.
Yeah. I don't think I said it on here. So when I went to get the tickets, we have some credits with the Cinemark because there's a couple around here, and I had the club a long time ago, so I paid like $9.99 a month and get a ticket, and you can bank them and stuff. So I was like, I'd go pretty regularly. That kind of stopped during COVID, so I had a bunch of these extra passes I never really used, so I've been kind of whittling them down over the last year or two. And so when I went into the app, they have a new thing that was like, oh, based on your previous purchases, we'll auto-select what we think are the best seats that you want based on all your previous purchases. The two they selected, it popped up in the cart, and it says $54 for 2 tickets. And I'm like, what the hell is this? So of course they were D-Box, right? $25 D-Box tickets with a $2 service.
And in hindsight, that would have made the story much funnier. Had you just bought them without looking?
So I was like, no, I'm okay. I'll take the normal seats and use my credit. So even then, the normal seats would have been like $15 or $16 or something. So I used the club points and paid the $4 service fee for the 2 tickets. It's like, whatever. So yeah, if I had paid $54 for this, we may be having a different conversation. The fact that I paid $4, okay, sure, I'm not too hurt.
Okay, now wait. The question I have for you, which I was saving for on the air for everyone to hear, as the obsessive collector, will you be purchasing Kraven the Hunter on disc when it is released?
No, so I like if it's this Morbius, Kraven, Madam Web. I think I got Venom, but I think I got Venom 2 as like a gift or something, or did I get it? I get it for free.
Lane had given Blu-rays out for a Christmas gift one year, and you got it.
Did he give me Venom 2?
I think it was Venom 2.
Yeah, I can't remember how I got Venom 2. No, I Marvel and Disney have killed me. I have not bought the last number of movies.
You didn't even get Deadpool Wolverine?
Well, no, not till it goes on. I always get them when they go on sale. And if these are $4.99, some Black Friday, sure. I bought Fantastic Four 1 and 2 on a a double disc set for like $3 or something clearance, and yeah, sure, I'll buy them then. But no, I think I'm done. I'm not buying. I'm not paying fucking $50 for any of their steelbooks for 6 episodes. Like those steelbooks, man. Disney's out of their mind. If you're paying like $50 for Ahsoka, what are you doing? I'm not saying it's a bad show. The price is out of it's insane. When DVDs first started coming out, I gladly put down like $100 for Star Trek: The Next Generation and X-Files. One, because we never had them at that quality before, but those are also like 26 episodes, right?
Yeah.
It's a decent amount of stuff.
Well, I was buying like CSI seasons that are like 26 episodes or whatever on sale for like $40 when it came out.
Yeah,
and I'm like, sold. And you were like, you could get 10 TV shows like that a year. You weren't caught up, but you only spent $400. You weren't spending like $1,200 on cable.
Yeah, if you these steelbooks, man, what a scam. They realize like the hardcore collectors get the steelbook, so they're like, yeah, we'll release them steelbook only, and it'll be $50 or $60 for 6 episodes. Out of your fucking mind. No, thank you. I hate steelbooks anyway. Like even if they were cheap, I wouldn't buy them. I hate steelbooks. I just don't like them. Like
it's not much different from the old anime days, where you get 3 episodes on a disc.
Sure, no. I 100% paid real big money for that back, and that's as close. But that was also like this complete different world, right? And we're not in the point we are now. So it was crazy at the time too, but there was no other way to get them. With these, they're on Disney Plus, they're on Netflix, and you can watch them anytime you want. So
2 episodes of Cowboy Bebop, or what's the other show that was up on VHS for $24.99?
Outlaw Star.
Yeah,
Outlaw Star. That's right, Outlaw Star and Cowboy Bebop. Collected all those VHSs.
Yep.
They're actually going for money. I should have never sold them. I sold them when I upgraded. I should have never sold them. The VHS are actually going for money now.
Are they?
Yep.
Yeah, it's super weird. Yeah, they're going for major money. I should have never sold them.
Yeah, everyone trashed them. Everyone dumped them. Toby, you get a chance to see Kraven the Hunter. Is that why you were late for the podcast?
No, I forgot that you guys were doing that. I should have watched it. I should have. Did Lane watch it?
No. Kevin told me not to.
No. I told you not to spend $20 on it.
Well, I'm on the AMC monthly thing, so it doesn't matter. I could have gone and caught it. So I'll look for any excuse to go watch a movie.
So Ryan, what circumstance would you tell a listener to where you would say, yes, you should watch Kraven under that circumstance?
If you're a hardcore comic fan and you're like, yeah, I'll just kind of watch any of them, like, sure, it's not an F. It's not the worst movie you'll ever see. It is totally fine. And just go in with that, I mean, I think we went in, your expectation is 0 when our expectations were met. All right.
Yes. Yeah.
I didn't walk out mad. Like, I've definitely watched a couple comic movies where I'm like, well, what the fuck? Like, that sucked. I haven't even finished Loki season 2. I watched Kraven and I have not finished Loki season 2.
Wait, Toby, is Loki season 2 the good one? Or, I mean, good as the first one?
It's a goddamn struggle.
Toby's the only one who's seen season 2, I think.
No, I hated season 2.
Oh, okay.
I only liked the way they ended it. So I couldn't stand the show itself.
Yeah,
but I liked very much where they left Loki.
Now that is a slog. That is a slog.
No, but I very much like where they left Loki at the very end. I liked what they did with Loki and where they parked the character. But the show itself, I didn't like, actually. To be honest, I think I'm one of the few that didn't really like either of the seasons. And I think the second season was even worse. Yeah, but I do like where they left Loki at the very end. I actually did like that.
Yeah, I actually do want to watch Madam Web now just to see if it's on the same level of...
Did anybody here see Madam Web?
Everyone that I've talked to has said it's really bad. So I wonder if it actually is way worse than Morbius and Kraven. Because, again, they are perfectly acceptable, bad, turn-your-brain-off action movies. And the memes around Morbius are pretty funny even to this day. Like, I can appreciate that. Like, Kraven didn't, it's not Kraven time, right? Like, nobody there was no memes around Kraven. But it's, just go in with that sort of idea and put yourself in the idea that you're going to go watch Sylvester Stallone as Judge Dredd. And it's 1995, and you just go see every comic movie.
The Stallone Judge Dredd would be a good comparison to this.
Yeah, it's a comic book movie. They don't make these. You have to go see it, and you're like, well, it's fine. It's not really Judge Dredd, but I guess it's a comic movie, so I like it. That's kind of how I feel about this and Morbius.
I so badly want to say something about the last scene of Kraven, not the ending of the movie. So just anybody who does not that. Anybody who doesn't want to hear this, just skip 30 seconds. This is real short. The last scene of the movie is, in my memory, Ryan, correct me if I'm wrong.
Him sitting.
He puts on that costume and sits in the chair exactly as is on the poster. But it's got this big dramatic swell of this music. Like, this is the most unbelievable thing you're going to see in this entire movie. This dramatic payoff that we've all been waiting for. 99.8% of the audience is going to be like a giant shrug because they have no idea what the comic Kraven looks like. And the people who do know what it looks like have already seen it on the poster. So it's this giant buildup to something
that's in the trailer.
Oh,
yeah, it's in the trailer.
That's it. I haven't watched the trailer.
Yeah,
so that's even worse. But it's got this dramatic swell of music of like, oh my God, it's actually happening. It's like as if Iron Man is putting on his armor for the first time. Is how they're treating it. And I was like,
the
Office moment where it's happening, people.
Him sitting there shirtless with the lion hood. That is the last scene of the movie. Yes. That is where the credits roll.
As the music is like boom, 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 boom.
There's no after credit scene?
No, there is not. No, I had read that there wasn't, and I double checked it while we were waiting. I was like, I don't think there is. And I looked it up. I'm like, there's not.
Yeah.
We can get out of here. Yeah, how Kraven. Like, look, whatever. It's fine.
Just stream it is basically what you're saying. Don't spend $20 on it. Just stream it.
I don't even know if I would tell you to stream it because by definition, the streaming service you're going to be using has a lot more better movies than this available to you. So why would you choose this?
Remember when we used to walk the aisles at video rental stores and just look at stuff and go, I'll give that a try. And then you would take it home, you would try it, and you'd be like,
So Toby, if you missed what I had said earlier, because I don't think you were here.
Don't you dare make fun of me 80 karate movies, man. They're fucking awesome.
This is your bad 90s action movie that you'd watch on TNT on a Sunday afternoon, and they're fine. You're like, they're good bad movies, right? Like, they're fun, dumb movies. And you love a lot of fun, dumb 80s movies and 90s movies. I'm right there with you. I like a lot of that stuff.
Except for they're not dumb. They're awesome. Okay? You leave the dumb part out of that sentence. They're fucking awesome.
This
fucking ninjas on an island fighting like, I don't know, like a bunch of suits. Fuck yes.
Yeah, this is a bunch of animal ninjas fighting on helicopters. Like, yeah, it is.
Wait, did you hate it or like it?
Pretty close to a bad, dumb, fun 90s action movie, but it's not. I think we lost Toby. It's not to that part, right? Like it's definitely heading that direction. It's not like wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We're bad on purpose. It's just kind of we lost you there for a second, Toby.
Oh yeah, but
unlike those movies, unlike which I like, like as well. I think the filmmaking in this is actually above competent. The VFX are not great, but the actual like directing, scene to scene filmmaking is good. It's not like you're just watching a shit show.
I did not. I'll see if I can find the review because I was reading a couple of reviews because I want to get.
I did not. You guys like it or not like it?
I did not make this. Hold on. I did not make this comparison. But someone said the effects were as good as Black Panther, and I was like, see, I said this when Black Panther came out that the effects in that movie are shit. And in this, it's like, well, yeah, sure, the effects are shit. That's fine. And Black Panther, I'm like, no, this is supposed to be like your gigantic tentpole. Like, this is your $1 billion film, and your effects are shit. That's when I have a problem. The effects being bad here or whatever, it's like, whatever. They're just fine. Yeah. They're like normal bad movie effects.
Toby, what I said at the start, Toby, was I was hoping this was either going to be, well, you knew it wasn't going to be good, but was going to be like god awful, like laugh out loud, terrible. And it's not. It's just like a C.
Yeah.
It's just a movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I did not hate it.
No, I didn't hate it either. No.
Yeah.
I wish I had. It would have been more fun to talk about.
Yeah.
Oh, I would watch Kraven again before I watch Wonder Woman 1984. That's for goddamn sure. That's not even a question. I would watch Kraven every day, 7 days in a row, every night before I watch that one more time.
Wow.
See, and that's what I said, right? When the movie like offends you, that's a problem. Like those movies can be, again, they can look competent, but you're just like, I'm offended. I disagree, but with this particular movie, but with Wonder Woman 84, but it's like, yeah, no, if that's how you feel, that is a worse movie because you're like, this actually, like, I feel personally attacked by this movie. Nobody's getting offended over Kraven being bad. You're just like, it's bad, whatever.
Because who the hell walked in going, I know this is going to be amazing. That was my problem with Wonder Woman is I was so teed up for it after the first one, and I was just like got a knife in my ribs. But this was just like walking in, hoping it's going to be you and me watching something terrible that we can laugh at, and instead we just get something that's fine.
It's like, oh, that was actually fine. Yeah. Like, okay, all right.
You mean we watched a movie together and we were just okay with it? Huh?
Yeah, it happened.
Higher or lower than Morbius?
I mean, it's kind of like on the same. I mean, it's just dead even with Morbius.
I'll be honest with you. I'm not sure if I ever finished Morbius. I think I only watched halfway. I think I watched it on a plane, to be honest with you. But I actually liked the trailer for Morbius. I was like, I actually kind of liked the trailer for it.
Yeah, Morbius has the right type of like goofy stuff going on. Like I said earlier, Venom was like dumb, but like really worked.
No, it was just
Morbius
dumb.
and Kraven. Oh, I think it was dumb, but it worked. It worked for me.
I can stand Venom.
Kraven and Morbius, they're dumb and they kind of work, but we've it's not going to end up on anyone's top 100 movies of the year list. It's not going to end up on anyone's best comic movie of the year list.
I don't know. There might not be 100 this year.
Well, that's what I mean. There may not be 100 movies this year, but it still wouldn't end up on the top 100 list.
I'm still mad that out of this unnecessary universe movies that we never got the Silver and Black movie. I was like, out of all the unnecessary movies, they couldn't just do the characters I wanted to see.
Yeah, Black Cat is the only one that would, I think, just from a concept of the character, it would totally work. A Black Cat movie, just a spy thriller, a crime thriller movie with Black Cat would work great. I don't know what you do with Silver Sable. I don't know what you do with
Silver Sable's an espionage thing.
El Muerto. I don't know what you do with.
I think it would have worked. Out of all the movies that they unnecessarily greenlit, they didn't. They decided not to continue with the one I wanted to see.
I'm sure they would have changed it, so she would have been something else, not a cat burglar anyway. They changed everything else.
Yeah. Morbius feels like some vampire movie they had sitting in a drawer, and they were like, "Oh, we could throw Morbius on top of this." This felt like some assassin hitman revenge movie that they just had sitting in a drawer, and they said, "Let's just throw Kraven on top of it."
So here's the biggest question: Russell Crowe is now officially 2 characters in the MCU.
Yep. Yeah.
And 3 in comics.
Yeah.
40 minutes on Kraven the Hunter.
I'm impressed.
I think anyone's going to do.
I'm impressed.
That's as good as anyone can do. Yeah.
Let's throw out the challenge to any other movie review podcast to go longer than that.
These are not actually MCU, right? This is the Sony Spider-Man expanded universe that's kind of Spider-Man, but kind of not, but kind of not.
And as far as everyone knows, it's done. This is it. So there's nothing else. I mean, and Spider-Man and Spider-Verse, and there's that Spider-Man noir TV show that they're filming, right? So those are happening, but there's no more movies coming.
Yeah.
No way.
Well,
not anytime soon.
I don't think that none of these should ever have been done, to be honest with you.
No.
No, they're just done to keep the rights.
Is it do they just would they have to use what's his face as Spider-Man? What the hell's his name? I forget his name now.
Holland?
Tom Holland? Like, could they just have another Spider-Man?
Wasn't there a rumor that Andrew Garfield was going to come back? Like, he was going to have a cameo in this movie or something? Or what was it? Or maybe I reread that wrong, but...
I mean, they could use Miles.
Could they just... Yeah, but like, no, I don't know. Like, can they? Like, could they just... I mean, I don't know that any of us know.
No, I'm pretty sure they would have. Because if they're greenlighting Kraven the Hunter and Madame Web... If they could have just done another Spider-Man movie without Tom Holland, I think they would have.
Yeah, like I just had a different actor in this as Spider-Man, because you have Spider-Man versus Kraven the Hunter, and it's the same story, except Spider-Man's going after Kraven. Like, it probably would have been okay. You move around some of the plots. I don't know. This. Like, you're not going to root for Morbius. You're not rooting for Kraven. And actually, like, at the end of both of those, they're like, there's elements where they're trying to set up the Sinister Six or a bigger connected villain universe. Like,
did Batman show up? Michael Keaton?
Well, so right. So that's in Morbius. In this, there's a couple. In this, there's mention of Jackal and Chameleon, and obviously Rhino's in it. And they're like, yeah, but I mean, but these have been the villains in these movies. Are we trying to like Vulture's the villain in Spider-Man? Like, you asked us to root for these characters the whole movie, and now they're just randomly the villains at the end. Why? Like,
they're going to kill Spider-Man finally.
No, you can make a good film with them. It's just got to get the right people.
Sure, but like with the way the characters are portrayed in the movies, then suddenly they're the villains of a Spider-Man movie. Doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So, but whatever. Kevin, you also watched the first 2 episodes of Commandos, the show on Max. Anyone else watch that yet? Do you have any interest in watching that?
I did not. Nope.
Yeah,
I want to. I just didn't. I forgot. I was going to do
it. You should. I mean, it's a Suicide Squad show, so.
I just don't have Max anymore, and
okay.
I'm like my interest in going onto a streaming thing and watching something is nil. So I'm like, unless it's one I already have, I don't care about paying for it.
Kevin, what did you think of those first 2 episodes? Sorry that me and Kevin are taking over this whole podcast.
Well, this will be quick because it's like a total of 40 minutes of content between the two of them.
Yeah. How do you think of those first 2?
I liked the second one enough to watch the third one.
Yeah.
The first one I was kind of lukewarm on because I just felt like Suicide Squad again. But I like the Bride of Frankenstein character. I think that's kind of cool. That her storyline in the second episode.
Bride's great.
Yeah.
I
like it better than that new Batman animated show.
Yeah, sure. No, I will keep watching, but something in this not work for me. So it is Suicide Squad, right? I mean, Amanda Waller's like, well, I can't make the Suicide Squad anymore after the events of the Suicide Squad. And by the way, my mic didn't just cut out there. I don't know what the hell anyone's talking about. This is not the first new universe. This is 100% in continuity with the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker and everything else. So, like, this is totally just part of... I mean, these characters can come over to the new stuff. That's fine. But this is not, like, the start of the James Gunn new stuff. It's they straight up mention Peacemaker and the Suicide Squad plots. So it's directly involved with those. It's just the comedy, man. It's just the comedy's real bad. When it's there's a couple funny scenes.
Can I point out that Ryan is saying this about a DC show right now?
You sure can.
This is not a Marvel property.
But this is the same thing with Guardians 2, where I'm like, some of this stuff, like the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker, those are all written and directed by James Gunn, right? I mean, work. There was very little. Peacemaker had some stupid stuff, but overall, I think it all worked for me. This, man, some of it's real bad. A couple of the characters are cool. When the comedy works, like G.I. Robot, it works really well, right? He's very funny. I like that take on G.I. Robot. The Bride is awesome. Yeah. She's great. What's the I forget what the fish girl's name is, because it's different from the original Creature Commandos, because it was like a merman guy, right? This is like the new 52 version of her. She's cool, right? Dr. Phosphorus is whatever. He's just a big asshole. Like, okay, that's fine. You gotta have your Captain Boomerang. He's fine. All the stuff with the hell's the other character. There was in Suicide Squad.
Weasel.
Weasel.
How do I know this?
Yeah, the stuff with the Weasels. Bleh. Like, it's just
Weasel gets his own episode. Episode 4 is all Weasel.
Yeah,
all Weasel.
Yeah, I haven't seen
all day.
Yet, so,
Weasel's doing this. Weasel's doing that.
But it's a lot of dick and fart jokes, and just some of the humor is real bad. And there's this like extended sex scene in the second episode.
There's a sex scene.
Yeah,
kind of. It's just like. I mean, this is like rated R.
Yeah,
this is
like,
an
R-rated show.
Yeah.
Jesus,
it's just like okay, this is fine. But my biggest problem, Frankenstein. What a fucking! I despise this take on Frankenstein. I'm not going to sit here and tell you
You're referring to the monster, not the doctor.
Yes,
okay.
Correct. Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm like the world's biggest DC Frankenstein what is he, Frankenstein, Agents of Shade?
Yeah,
and,
Agents of Shade was
stuff,
actually
right?
not that bad of a series.
No, it was great. Yeah. And all the Frankenstein
and
stuff.
that stuff in Seven Soldiers was really good.
Yeah. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you he's like my favorite character of all time or anything like that. But, it's a character that's obviously Morrison's written a lot. Tomasi's written a lot. I like those takes on the character. It's in Batman and Robin. So, it's a cool character. I like how they've portrayed him in the comics. I don't know what the fuck they're thinking in this. Again, Bride is great, but they make Frankenstein out to be just this fucking simp, and it's the weirdest, like, painfully, like, cringy. I don't know what they were thinking on this take. And David Harbour is fine, I guess, but like his voice is not a voice like every other voice in the show is perfectly fine, but he does not sound. I would never in a million years cast him as Frankenstein. Like he does not. It sounds like it's supposed to be a different character. It doesn't sound like what Frankenstein would sound like. Again, Bride's great. Everyone else sounds perfectly fine. So what a miscast. What a terrible character. It's such a bizarre choice. It really turned me off. The humor on episode 1 turned me off, but I was like, I'll deal with it. It's fine. Hopefully this settles down. But the Frankenstein stuff in episode 2 was that was like Wonder Woman 84 to me. Like that was fucking offensive. So I'm gonna keep going, but boy, oh man,
Toby and Lane, you guys got to watch this for the next time we're record.
I'm a little scared for Superman now. Like I don't know.
I'm gonna give a shout out to my friend Becky who did backgrounds on the show, so I have to watch it. So I gotta.
Yeah.
Well, you only have to wait 24 hours.
The episodes are only like 22 minutes long, also. So
yeah, they're short. Yeah. They're short. Maybe it'll turn around. Harley Quinn, right? The first couple episodes, I was like, yeah, this is kind of, it's like R-rated humor with Harley and Bat people. But after a couple, it started to click, and it's great. Harley's amazing, right? So like, it took a couple, but once it kind of clicked with me, it was fine. So it's possible this may change over the next couple episodes, but yeah,
totally up your alley.
Well, like Batman Caped Crusader. God, did I even talk about that when we finished it? Like,
oh, you finished it?
Fuck,
you finished?
We did. We watched it all. We watched
what
it all. It's not good. I must have talked about it on
You
here.
talked briefly about like a handful of episodes
when we watched the very first ones.
Yeah, you and Kevin agreed that it was harsh, and Kevin was like, "I don't think I can keep going," and you're like, "Yeah, we'll probably get to it at some point."
Yeah, we watched them all. It was okay. No, it was not okay. It was just real flat and bland, and I hated a lot of the characters, and I didn't like.
So this is all animated
Batman's
stuff.
Barely in it.
It's all animated stuff. So you know what this means for DC, right?
Well,
the movies are going to be good then.
So this is a concern of mine, right? Because Warner Brothers is always very strong with animation, and a lot of the recent DC animated movies, the couple I've watched, have been pretty rough. And people I've talked to, the Crisis movies and a few of the others that have come out the last couple of years, everyone I've talked to said they've just been terrible. Batman, Creature Commandos, again, it looks great. The action's great. Weird choice of music. There's a bunch of like Russian like metal, like party metal music. I don't. Why? I mean,
that Blade vibe. They're trying to go for that Blade vibe.
Well, they're in this fake Russian country, so maybe that's what they're going for. The music's bad, but whatever. It's like if Andrew WK was Russian, like this would be the music he would play, I guess. But like, it just. I wanted to really like this, and I just don't. So, are you going to keep watching?
Yeah,
Kevin?
Yeah, I'll keep going. Yeah. The fact that it's such a short season and that the episodes are so short, and I like elements of it definitely.
Yeah.
So I'll keep going.
Yeah, there's really good stuff in it, but the stuff that misses to me really misses. So that's concerning. My hope is this is Gunn kind of getting it out of his system, and Superman is a lot more normal. So I don't want this Gunn in Superman. That's my biggest fear.
I think we talked about it in the store, right? Like, the hope is, like, let Gunn have this shows where he can get all his gunnisms out, and then he delivers in Superman.
Yeah. That would definitely be that would definitely be my my hope. So,
well, we find out tomorrow, right?
Why? What do we find out tomorrow?
Isn't it?
Trailer coming out?
Yeah,
that's it.
It's tomorrow or next
Superman
Monday.
trailer?
Superman.
There's been random teases of the Superman trailer dropping at certain points. I don't. It could be.
Well,
could be
Gunn
tomorrow.
announced on his account that he's going to drop it before Christmas.
Really?
Yeah,
All right.
that's his Christmas present. He said.
Look, I'm a guy.
It's just
I'm
going to be a teaser trailer, so.
curious. I'm definitely curious.
Yeah. I did say earlier that there was something else to talk about. Of like a random villain getting a movie. Now, we'll see how the movie is, right? But if you're gonna do a villain movie and you want to get Mike Flanagan, who's done a lot of horror stuff recently, especially for Netflix, to do a live-action Clayface horror movie, that, at least from a pitch, is the right way to go. This got officially greenlit. This is coming out in 2026. Like, this jumped over everything that's been announced, and we're getting a horror Clayface origin-ish movie.
Movie or show?
Movie.
Okay.
This is a theatrical movie, which I'm 100% down for. Yeah, if you want to do a villain movie and he's a villain, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Those Clayface obviously is a long comic history.
Well, which one? Does it say?
It's sure, but I assume it's going to be the kind of traditional one. But if you want to take Batman the Animated Series and just adapt that Feet of Clay episode as a live action movie, that's how you do it, right? Like, Clayface is a great character to do something like that.
Alan Tudyk voicing him again?
Yeah. Probably not. Not.
They just announced he was.
What?
I don't know. I saw something saying that Tudyk was in.
No, because he does the voice in Harley.
He does the voice in Harley and in Creature Commandos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But because he's in Creature Commandos, isn't that supposed to be?
Oh, is Clayface in Creature Commandos? Was he in the new episode? I
don't know.
totally.
They said something about
I haven't seen this. Yeah, I have no idea.
There's something confirming something about Tudyk recently, but I don't know truth behind it.
Let's see.
But I would be curious to see.
Yeah, because he's the hell is he in Creature Commandos? I don't remember.
Oh,
He's Clayface.
He's. Oh, I guess he's going to be in Clayface. I guess they're going to bring Clayface into it. Yeah, if he's been the last couple episodes, I haven't seen it. Yeah, because he plays Dr. Phosphorus, so he's already in it. They haven't played Will Magnus too. That's kind of fun. What the hell was I going to say?
I was just going to say that I'd be curious to see if Alan gets to play the human version too.
You could.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great actor.
Yeah, I'm 1,000% down with a horror Clayface movie. Now, again, it has to be good, right? Who knows? Maybe it'll sucks. But I think that is the right path for that type of character, right? I think a lot of Bat characters can. I think a lot of Bat characters have strong enough solo story movie potential, not franchise potential, right? But if you're willing to play it dark. I think that works. So,
I mean, I'd like a Poison Ivy movie.
Yeah. Well, you know what I think makes a lot of the Bat characters work is that they're not just random villains, right? This is a pretty common trope in the modern interpretation of the characters, that they are all kind of trying to do their own version of what they think is right. To go to Kraven and Morbius, though, that's not those characters. Kraven has never been portrayed as this, like, you know, he's on the right side of things. He just goes about it the wrong way. Morbius, you know, Morbius is in theory not a bad guy, but he's a vampire, so it's kind of taken over by that.
He's no man-bat. He's no lizard.
Yeah. You know, I think some of those characters, right, like Man-Bat would be a tough solo movie, but Poison Ivy for sure. Clayface, if done in a horror way, you know, I could see a real depressing Mr. Freeze movie, like origin movie, right? But these kind of stop at the origin. The origins make great single movies. I don't see anything past that. So that's you know, that's the struggle. Is I think, you know, you're not going to get 6 Clayface movies. That's just not, this character's not designed for that type of thing.
Well, I think the problem is going at it from the direction of the origin first, right?
Yeah.
Like,
but there really is no story to Clayface. Right. That's the biggest problem with a lot of villains. There's no story to them past the origin, right? That most characters, most villains, that they have their origin, that is the story, and then they are just a foil for the hero. So there is no built-in plots to pull from.
Well, it's kind of, you bring the foil in first. So you have them in a Batman movie first, but then if there's a buzz behind a character like Clayface or like Poison Ivy, then you pull it out and you do that story.
No, that's the problem, because the origin would be in the story, and that's the story. So Poison Ivy, maybe, but even that's a stretch. I mean, a solo Poison Ivy origin movie, totally fine with, and then she's a Batman villain. So, or you know, Harley.
She'd be a DC villain overall, but
Harley anti-hero. Yeah. So
But it also depends on what angle you're coming at Poison Ivy from. Are you coming at her from a Batman villain standpoint, or from, you know, the red and the green standpoint?
I'm trying to think, is there like what Marvel characters do I think could work in a similar fashion to the Batman villains? Like Magneto.
Villains, you mean?
I think like Doom and Magneto would be great solo origin villain movies, where you are kind of rooting for them, but they are still villains. Like this Kraven movie was not, that story does not exist. Mm-hmm. Kraven is not that character. Magneto, Doom, God, I was
gonna say with Clayface though, also,
I don't know that there's many others
beyond Clayface being the villain. Did you read the Tynion run, Detective?
Yeah.
So when Clayface joined Batman, that was actually pretty good.
But he's already back to being a villain again, right? I mean,
he became like the danger room for them.
They'll drag them in. You know, they'll drag, obviously, every villain, maybe short of Joker, has like worked with Batman enough times,
but I mean,
right?
It's a great way to extend their story without turning them into a villain again.
For Marvel, I know this is kind of poison soil at this point, but pretended it never happened. Kang the Conqueror would be one.
An actual, like, just like a real Kang origin street.
Yes, with no superheroes.
Yeah.
Namor, if you count Namor as a villain.
Yeah.
We've kind of already gotten one, but it was really short. Sandman from Spider-Man. Like that, like his origin story that was shoved into that movie was really good, and then he disappears, and he goes back into the movie. I would like just to have seen like his origin story.
Right? You said Venom, right? Venom, I think, is good enough characters to support that type of thing. So that's why I think it's harder. I think a lot of Batman characters, a lot of Bat villains have a really good hook for a one-off solo movie. But I don't think there's anything past that for those. So
who knows?
Well, we saw Kraven, saw some Creature Commandos.
Don't we have some news stuff to talk about?
Clayface movie. That was it.
Clayface?
Yeah, Clayface is the news.
No comic book news? No nothing?
Nah. Comic books. Still making those things?
Yeah. You know what we should do for the end of the year?
What's that?
Your random pick from this year.
I'm not got nothing. Oh, we did. We saw the. There was the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror had a parody called Denim, and it was Homer gets a new pair of jeans,
and they're alive.
The jeans were sentient. Yeah. Pretty funny. Very uncanny, like live action stop motion jeans on Homer Simpson. It's very unusual. It's a very unusual episode.
Brock,
if you want to do if you want to do some random picks of your favorite comics next episode, go for it. Let's give everyone a little bit of time. We could talk about our favorite stuff of the year when we come back.
Okay.
Early January.
I was just trying to give people a tease,
Nah, sure, yeah, we could do that.
You don't give a shit.
Ryan will recommend something from 8 months ago.
Well, I said this year.
Yeah, I got nothing.
I was going to say, is this the time to revisit Kevin's list of the Starbucks bet for the year?
Haircut might be back on the table.
Someone said that to me, and I'm like,
that was me.
Sure. Yeah, I just don't even like whatever. It's fine.
I don't even think we did one for 24, did we?
No, I don't think we had anything.
Oh,
yeah.
no, I
but
did.
that Spawn movie.
Spawn.
Yeah.
That Spawn movie any day now.
Yeah.
Any day
None
now.
of them happened this year.
Yeah. Well, once we got Miracle Man and Saga, The Return of Saga, and what was the other one that won? The Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
We're kind of playing with house money at this point because after you got those, which were because the ones that are left now that we'd be putting on are not things that anybody's necessarily excited for. It's more just like, imagine if this happened.
Yeah. I got nothing. Yeah, I got
nothing. That's a great way to end.
Yeah, exactly. Chef's kiss on that one.
Fucking done. Mwah.
It sure has been a year. Sure.
Well, next year it'll be much better, Ryan. So don't even sweat it.
That's what people keep telling me.
Blue skies ahead.
Ooh, blue sky. I love it. I'll do it. I'm sorry. Someone link me some Godzilla.
Brock, do you have a random pick to send us off without Ryan's downer note?
Downer note. I already gave that last one with the Poison Ivy one, which is good. But a series I actually found really good, and it was 2 different comics, was The One Hand and The Six Fingers.
Oh, I want to read that.
It was really good.
Yeah.
Like, it was the detective story in one comic, and then you read so you read that one first issue, and then you read the first issue of Six Hand, and then you just kept going back, or Six Fingers. Then you go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I thought it was going to be horrible, but Rom V was writing one of them, and I was like, I got to give it a try. It was really, really good. There's a trade out, so if you want to get somebody that for Christmas, you could.
Okay, I got a random pick. Not that anybody needs a deep cut recommendation for Brubaker and Phillips team up, but I really, really liked their newest one, Houses of the Unholy.
It's on my stack to read.
Not a criminal book. It's like a satanic panic story, but I really like that.
Oh, they've been doing some great ones with Where the Body Was.
Where the Body Was also really good, yeah.
The Night Fever. They did
that one I haven't read. Yeah.
That one's really good. All the Reckless ones have been great.
Yeah, I like the Reckless ones. I don't know, Night Fever was a little weird, but I haven't caught up on the rest.
It's okay. It was, but I liked it. So, yeah. And their Friday one was good. It was Brubaker, but not Phillips, but it was.
Oh, isn't that Marcos Martin?
Yes, that one was good. The little kind of, I want to say it's YA, but the main character, she smokes. So, like, I guess it's kids, like, teen. But I like that. The third and final one came out a few weeks ago, or recently. So. Lane, you got one?
Not really. I'm a little quite a bit behind on reading.
I like how we all do a comic book podcast and we're barely reading shit.
Oh, I read all sorts of comics. I have stuff from, I'm reading from months ago, and it's impossible to be caught up on everything. So I just read what I can. I read some old books, read some new stuff. Yeah, some bad books, some great books, but it's like, yeah, I've told people this is not like a review podcast. Have you ever been like super current on stuff here?
If it was John's and an event book,
I finished Justice Society. I read.
But you couldn't review Justice Society.
Now John's has gone from DC, so I'm not current on any comic book. Yeah,
what a coincidence!
It's all right. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
Well, you're not reading his
Geiger? Yeah.
I am. I'm just not current.
Oh.
I'm like 2 months back on.
So are we going to do like a favorite things of this year in January?
Yeah, sure.
Well, because you're not going to have any news, that'll be like a pre-made topic for you. You should be grateful for it.
Yeah.
Is this it? Is this it?
This is it for 24.
Oh,
this is it.
Oh shit! Okay.
This is it. I'll be back in mid-January.
All right.
I'm gone for a bit.
All right.
Yeah.
Toby's plotting as we speak.
Do you know this? Like, do you not know this?
Well, I know that we're going to party at your house with hookers and coke parties.
We could just do that as a podcast.
Yeah.
He has all the equipment there.
Yeah. When all the new episodes drop from Ryan's house while Ryan's not there.
Love it.
Oh.
Let's do it.
You guys are hearing this, right? He's down for this.
I mean, it is an approval according to, what's recorded, but he could always cut it out.
If you guys want to organize some comics, my garage is I got a couple long boxes and they need to get stored and filed into the main collection. So,
really?
While you're here too.
You let us on to that? All right.
So Toby's gonna mix them all up now.
Well, as long as Toby's not keeping track of the alphabet, it'll be fine. So.
Just pull one out randomly, put it somewhere else.
Yeah. The comic's going to be alphabetized by the writer now.
Yeah.
Well, Ryan would like that probably.
Just in color order, and just be like, this is purple, this is blue, this is green.
Oh yeah, it would look so pretty on the bookshelf.
Yeah.
Or by Toby favorites,
It's alphabetized by the inker's first name.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh.
All right.
Well,
on that note,
strong finish.
Wonderful.
Strong finish.
That's it. Yeah. It's all good.
Hey,
see you guys.
Much like most of the comic book movies this year, we're strong finishing it, right?
Yeah. Toby's gonna take his shirt off and go sit with a lion, a lion hoodie, lion neck. I don't even. What would we even call it? It's like a vest, but like giant poofy neck.
I don't know what it's called.
I don't know. Hey, thanks to Edward at geekyvillain.com, Joe Duff, Kelsey May, Craig Anderson at the Executive Evolution Podcast. Craig, we were waiting. We had a seat reserved for you.
We had almost of a row reserved for you, Craig.
Yeah.
Then they would have actually paid 50 some odd bucks if you had been there.
The only person to fly across the country pays $600 to see Kraven the Hunter. Okay?
He would have been a legend if he had done that.
Jimmy Rivera at the Social For More Podcast. Thanks to all our Patreon backers. And everyone else that backs us at the other tiers at patreon.com/comicconspiracy. Now,
you can go to... should have just done that as promotion for the movie, because that would make the news. They should just pick up freaking Indicator's ticket.
Taking a cross-country trip.
Yeah.
Now, look, I'm always going to promote the store and purchasing stuff at comicsconspiracy.biz. However, I'm going to be gone, and Brock's ability to ship and pull stuff from the warehouse is going to be slightly limited. So feel free to order from comicsconspiracy.biz, but we will be slightly delayed in shipping.
That's not a bit like that's not my character of shipping. That's just my ability to be there.
Correct. Because we have different shifts while I'm gone, and warehouse availability is a little bit less, and shipping availability, because we're at this point it is too late for Christmas, so that slows everything down. You're not getting anything before Christmas at this point. So feel free to, however, go to comicsconspiracy.biz and give us all the money you would like. Your books will be on their way.
Unless there's a pickup in the store.
Unless it's pick up at the store and it's all store items. Yes, of course.
Yes.
You can come down to the shop anytime.
Do not select priority shipping and expect priority handling.
Yeah. It's priority shipping, not handling.
No, not handling.
That's not even that in this at the mail service right now.
Well, once the mail goes private, and it's all going to be fixed. That's what our president has told us. So once Elon Musk gets the UPS, USPS all fixed up, it'll be smooth sailing. So that's what they tell us. So hey, you can go to conspiratobrock.com.
No, you can't.
And, see his videos over
I'm
there.
not really
done?
I'm not doing them.
Yeah, it's still there. Though.
It's still there if you want to go, but I'm just not.
Yeah. That's okay.
It died.
When you get the itch,
if I get the itch to do something, maybe.
Yeah. JustComicNews.com. You can visit that as well. There we go. There we go. Actually dead.
How long? What was the on the tombstone for JustComicNews.com? What would it say is the birth and the death dates on that thing?
What was it, like 2022, 2022? Like,
Okay.
like it had a good run. But yeah. That's a lot. Yeah, I hadn't quite figured AI out yet, so I'll get that AI bot in there to just repost my emails, and then it'll be fine. Yeah. Check out Wonders in the Fourth Dimension podcast. Charlie's Dr.
Is that still alive?
Podcast. Yeah,
all of these seem to need a caveat on them. If they're,
I saw Charlie the other day. He stopped by the store when we were closed because power outage.
Oh no, I got a better I saw Charlie story. You first.
Well, no, all I was going to say was we were closed the other day because the power outage destroyed my computer. It bricked it. I was able to get the drive out and everything fine, but we were without our POS and power for a while. So everything's back up and running now. But if you stopped by on Saturday and the store was closed, that's why. But we're now open. Everything's good now. Go see. Oh, sorry. What was your Charlie?
So I was dropping packages off at a post office in Santa Clara because that's what I do is drive to post offices and drop boxes off. I saw one of our old mail guys at the old Sunnyvale location, so I said hi to him. But as I'm walking out, Charlie's walking in with his wife, and I'm like, hey! It was pretty funny.
Yeah. You saw Charlie?
I saw Charlie at a random time, at a random day, not associated with the not associated with a physical location of the comic book store. An activity.
No, what's weirder is me seeing Al at the fucking Taco Bell last night. Like, okay, for the radio people, for all the people listening.
Toby?
Well,
hello, Toby?
He's one of our regulars. He's been a regular for years. All right.
I haven't seen Al in probably a decade.
I haven't seen Al in a while.
No.
See, it's fun. Yeah, it was very bizarre. First of all, some random night. It was very late. I didn't think he was in my neighborhood at all because it was my Taco Bell right around the corner from my place.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna. I'll guess.
Well, no, it's funnier than that. Dude, it's a lot.
Sometime.
It's a lot funnier than that. I already had my meal. I started eating my food, and he walked. We made eye contact. He kind of just nodded. I nodded, and then he ordered his food, and he sat on the other corner on the Taco Bell.
He got his hat. He got his fedora.
Oh, dude, he had everything, dude. I bet you he had his iPads in his jacket again.
Yeah.
He wasn't all Jack Sparrowed out.
He was not all Jack Sparrowed out,
no.
but he just sat at the other side of the Taco Bell, and we acknowledged that we exist in the universe, and we went about our lives. It was an interesting encounter.
There's more of it. That sounds like an Al experience, and also more of an Al experience that I've had in a decade. I have not seen him in a long time.
Yeah.
For people that have no, I mean, for the 10 people that we know that know Al, and nobody listened to this podcast. They have no idea what we're talking about. But yeah, Al's a character.
Yeah, he definitely is.
I'll see you sometime.
The thing is, this is how it was in high school.
Well, no, it's...
Like, I'm not making fun of him.
We're not making fun of him.
Wow.
There's one time at the old store where me and Milton saw him walking by, and he did not come to the store. We're like, well, if he's not coming to the store, where the hell is he going? So we followed him.
He's Al. He just fucking walks the earth. He's fuck. This is my third Highlander reference in this episode. Highlander. He just walks the earth.
So we followed him, and he went some random tree, took his phone out, smiled, and then started walking back to the store. And we're like, what did he do at that tree? So we had to ask him about it. And he goes, he had to scan his Munzie. Like, I guess there's some kind of barcode that was at that tree that he had to check in because he was some kind of virtual mayor or some shit.
Sounds right. Right.
It would be normal if it was geocaching, but it's not.
It was something like that. It was something.
Yeah, it's
like
a game.
That.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. All right. Go Kevin's interview series between the panels of Fanbase Press and a page 11 Comic Art Live on YouTube. Go check those out. And also Leanne's art at leannehill.com. And in the new year, we will be setting up her new site with her e-commerce site where you can purchase prints from her directly at leannehill.com. And if you're on Blue Sky, look, I'm already hearing calls about Blue Sky being killed because they won't ban some guy.
Shut
the
fuck up. Just let us have something.
This is my solemn vow. If Blue Sky goes, I'm out. I can't do this again. I just social media was a mistake. I can't do this again. So Blue Sky, your only hope. Blue Sky, Ryan Higgins, Brock Sager, Toby XI, that Kevin Sharp, all on Blue Sky. Please go follow us.
Wait. Is Blue Sky in danger of going away?
No, but a bunch of people. I don't know anything about anything. No judgment. Be mad about whatever you want. I don't care. But people are already like, "Oh, Blue Sky's gonna die because they're not gonna ban all these people." And I'm like, fuck, here we go again. Like, I can't go through this again. I don't care what the reasoning is. If Blue Sky is over, I'm out. Like, I just can't do this anymore.
Now, another thing is, if Jeff Bezos wants to buy Blue Sky for $88 billion, are you out?
No, I don't give a fuck. Like, just don't be a suck-ass site. Like, yeah, be a perfectly good, normal website.
But you can always go to Threads.
Stuff. No, I'm going anywhere. No.
Didn't they auto make you an account when you accidentally clicked on something?
I mean, Threads always has stuff on Facebook, but it's it's not. You can listen to Geekbox, where we talked about the Game Awards, and I talked also about Kraven. And
the Game Awards were awesome.
Everyone, Ryan Scott got super mad at me because of my opinion that if Astrobot was not a Sony PlayStation exclusive game, it would not have won Game of the Year. Because if it was released on Nintendo or third party, no one would care. But because it was a Sony exclusive, that's why I won Game of the Year. So that's my. I'm going to stick to that. It's an 8 out of 10 game. It's perfectly fine. I'm sure it's great. Game of the Year? I don't think so, boy. Listen to Geekbox. Hear me and Ryan Scott talk about all the Game Awards shit for a while.
I only cared about Helldivers 2, and they dropped new shit.
They had your Helldivers.
I fucking played. There was 140,000 people playing. I was like, this is amazing.
That's cool. But seriously, thank you everyone for listening this year. Keep this podcast, and we're gonna be on a break again. Give us a month.
We will be back
mid-January. We'll be back. And we will catch everyone in 2025. Goodbye. Oh, Kevin, sounds like you have something to say. No, something?
Oh,
no.
We could just say Happy Holidays and Happy New Year.
Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. Be safe.
New Year, all that stuff. Yes.